Fashionably 5. We have an amazing team.
That's right.
We start out with our podcast. Our goal is to go into expanding the podcast, expanding the TV show, doing research, and educating the community. We want to make it interactive. We want to make it timeless. We want to be the go-to for fashion, not just in Philadelphia, but in the world.
That's right.
And one of our fashionistas.
That's right. That's right.
Miss Sabrina is here. When I tell you this, Sabrina is absolutely amazing. Sabrina is amazing. Not only is she a model, she does her Sabrina is all of that. So I want to pass this over to Sabrina and ask Sabrina to tell us about your year because, girl, you've been all over the place.
That's right. What's your top 5? Come on, let's talk.
So, and I'm glad you said that because actually I did think about my top 5. And one of the things that I did not include in my top 5 was my trip to London.
Yes.
I actually did African Fashion Week in London.
That's right.
And the experience was...
Can you say that again?
African Fashion Week in London.
It's big.
It was amazing to see all of our beautiful brown people from all over Nigeria, Ghana, and the fashions was everything. So that did, thank you, because that did make my top 5. I didn't include myself. So the rest of my top 5, number 1, and don't beat me up about it, but Renaissance.
Yeah.
The Western Couture, the Western crossover.
That's right.
The Cowboy Couture brought on by Beyoncé was everything to me. Cowboy hat, silver cowboy boots. I loved it. So she's in my top 5.
Okay.
My others, let's see. Number 4 would be the passing of Iris.
Iris Apfel.
She was a big icon in the fashion industry.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And she is one of the people that I looked up to as far as the outrageous colors. I love color. And she exuded color and exuberance, and her personality was everything. Right. She lived to be 102, so I'm rooting for that. I'm shooting for that start too. Let's see what else. Oh, the return of Victoria's Secrets to the runway after a 6-year hiatus. So I was happy to see all of the models back on the runway. I was especially happy to see Tyra hit the runway. She's a little bigger. She picked up some weight. So cheers to the plus size community in the fashion industry. I think my number 1, and I don't know if any of you seen it, Thom Browne's fall 2024 collection.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
When I tell you that collection gave me goosebumps, it was everything. To see that runway show, it was everything. So Thom Browne has my number 1 spot for 2024.
A round of applause for her. That's fantastic, Sabrina. Thom Browne. Yes. I think so. I like Balmain though. I like Balmain
as well. But did you see what Thom Browne did with that tweed jacket?
Number 1. He definitely number 1.
So the same manufacturer that Chanel gets their boucle and their tweed jackets from, he uses that same manufacturer. However, he took that tweed and he dipped it into black tar. And it looked absolutely amazing.
What's one of the biggest trends that you see right now? And what's one of the trends that you hope that can be thrown out the window for 2024?
One of the biggest trends. Unfortunately, I'm not very big on this athleisure. I'm not into all of the
Lululemon
leggings, tights, the Lululemon, all that kind of stuff. I do understand why it's happening. And it's happening because there are a lot of women out here who are now getting work done to their bodies. And regular clothes, denim, cotton don't fit the way they used to fit. So they need to make material stretchy. And that's why there's this big uptick, and I don't like it at all.
Interesting. So if we think about, now I'm going into my consultant bag, right? I'm going into my image bag. One of the things that we hear a lot of people say, especially women, as it relates to them going into just work, is the idea of feeling and wanting to be comfortable. When we think of athleisure wear, that's one of the, I guess, looks or clothing that is probably the most comfortable, right? So with that as a context, can we say that there's a place for it?
Yeah, the gym. And the reason why I say that is because even though it's comfortable, especially to the extent that these women are getting their bodies done, it's not professional, or it doesn't come off professional to me. It's too tight, it's too form fitting. Like, I just think it sends the wrong message. And again, that's me personally. That's just how I feel. But I think it belongs in the gym where it started.
Okay. Fantastic. So one of the
fair comment.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with. I totally agree.
Are you wearing them to interviews though?
Okay, you can go to the supermarket.
The athletic stuff.
Yeah,
they're wearing them to interviews and everywhere.
Yeah. They'll put them on with a blazer.
Yeah.
And grab a briefcase and think they're doing something. No.
Now, real quick before you move, do you think it's a celebrity influencer? Like, which?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I do.
Yeah.
I'm a little dated with it. Which celebrity is like doing?
There's a lot
it?
of celebrities getting into it because it's money. It's
Right.
it's fast fashion, which I don't have a problem with fast fashion because they got some nice stuff.
I was
out
about
there.
to say,
they got some real nice stuff out there. But like the Kardashians, they have a couple of lines out there now where their SKIMS is making leisure wear. They have FBF. Like it's too much. I would like to see them get back to real fashion.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
For sure.
Okay, I just want to jump in here because like when you made the comment, you said it's not professional. That's a big thing for me. And I like fast fashion is good. We like all those things, but everything is not for everywhere. So when you're looking at the influencer and you're looking at the Kardashians and you're looking at all these celebrities, please understand their life is not like yours. Okay.
No,
so what they're wearing,
right.
and I say it all the time when I see the young girls they want to wear with, what the singers or the rappers are wearing, and then y'all in these outfits that you seen Meg Thee Stallion in. But guess what? Meg Thee Stallion job is on stage. Meg Thee Stallion is a performer.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? You can't wear that outfit to the supermarket. You shouldn't have that outfit on when you pushing your stroller through the park with your kids. So every outfit is not for every occasion.
Right.
So no, you should not be wearing these to job interviews because the job you're applying for is not what they
You're
do.
applying for the wrong job.
That part too.
and see, because the parents are confused, the kids are confused. So in the work that I do, aside from Fashionably 5, when we bring kids in to prepare them and pour into them with workforce development, we have to go through and tap into people like Mr. Charles Gregory to speak to them about their image and show slides and say, baby, I'm sorry that you can't wear the gym outfit. The gym outfit is not going to work for the interview. It's not going to work for you to go to work. So, I guess it goes back to kind of like what Melissa was saying with educating and just
educating and the generation, right? Because the generation that you're working on right now, like you said, you have to talk to the parents.
Yeah.
But guess who the parents of those parents were? The ones who were affected by the crack epidemic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
they weren't there, so they didn't get taught. So this is what their kids look like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what would you say to someone that would say to a degree, well, why should my clothes or what I have on be that important when it's my skill set, right? I'm smart enough to do the job, right? What would you tell the person? I'm smart enough to do the job. Why are you worried about what I have on as they go into doing an interview?
You're
Who's that
smart
question
enough
for?
to do the job,
Yeah.
but you're not smart enough to make the decision to come to work looking like you can do the job. Perception is 100%, regardless of what people think. Perception is everything. When you go to a job interview, they can make a decision, and people have made decisions as soon as you stepped your foot in that office based off of how you look, which is unfortunate, but you don't even give yourself a chance to get them to see your skill set because of the way you showed up.
Now, I want to make a comment just for good radio. Not that I disagree with y'all, but just for the viewers that other people see it from the other side. The generation coming up are the generations that are the gatekeepers to the techie world, the techie world of the Googles, the Yahoo, all of that. and they are coming to work relaxed. They are making the lobbies very relaxed. People are sitting on stability balls. So they're like, hey, we're not coming with high heels or suits. We're coming in with our athletic wear.
Yeah.
We're tearing our laptops to the park. You know what I mean? So it feels like there is a shift in the, you know, you have the silencers who are now, they're in 80s, 90s. You got the baby boomers who are now passing on the torch. You got the Generation X that are now becoming the elders. And then you got the Gen Z who's like, no, this is now a new world for us that we're looking at it to say, we're wearing heated vests.
I agree with her. Because the whole time you were talking about perception, I thought to myself, you got a kid, for example, at Temple University, there's a kid I was talking to. He was at the IT desk, 21 years old, glasses, spiky hair, t-shirt, holy jeans. He told me, oh yeah, I just scored a job. Starts me off at 108,000.
Yeah.
And to look at him and these people, like when I'm on Zooms, I look at people and where they're at. They're sitting there with their cat, boxers.
Yes.
Who knows what these people are doing? All I'm saying is the days of going in with a suit and thinking that, you know, no, they don't care. At the end of the day, they want to know, do you produce?
Right.
What do you deliver? How can you catapult this organization?
What's your Excel experience?
Yeah, that's
You gotta
that's
do
what
a
they want to
pivot.
know.
You gotta
Your
do a
productivity
pivot
level.
table.
And I think I sit somewhere in the middle of that because of where I am in terms of
And it also
generations.
depends on who you are, female, male.
Yeah,
and
it
gender,
definitely
and race.
does. It
Yeah.
definitely does. And so the information that I would share when I would get backlash from, you know, the younger generation, I would say, well, I need you to understand that every job has a uniform.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a uniform, right? You know, you're a basketball player, that's what you wear on the court. You're a football player, you wear that on the court. You understand? So, and for me, yes, perception is a thing. So when it comes to me making big deals and I'm about to hand my money to somebody, I'm
How you showing up?
how you show up when I'm about to hand you a whole lot of my money.
Absolutely.
If you look a certain way, I'm not going to want to give you my money. Now, so that is my perception, but that's also probably it plays a lot to do with, you know, what I've been exposed to and, you know, where I come from. And, you know, sometimes it could be a trust thing or whatever it is. But yeah, I've had one of those corporate relaxed jobs where I don't have to show up in a suit. But guess what? When I went to the interview, I got it in the suit. So that's not how you had to come to work every day,
exactly.
but that was how I got it.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
And the reason I also brought it up because I have I always throw my kids in there, but I got 4 adult kids, 30, 29, 28, 23 grandkids. But when they were younger, I was that hands-on mom. So in order for them to do things, you had to write a check. When we go to your doctor's office, you write the check for the copay. They told me, Mom, by the time checks will be they'll be obsolete. They're going to not even be around. But you know what my mindset was? As long as you know. You'll know how to still balance this checkbook. You'll still know the financial literacy of what used to be and what is now. You can do a contrast and compare all you want as you get older, but you'll still have that foundation. And that's what I think where, as far as perception, what you just said, let them know. My youngest daughter, thank you, Jesus. She graduated with her nursing degree and they just offered her a job. I won't say the hospital, but she's making 6 figures and she's 23. And I'm just like, she's on her debit card. They said she's been a member with the bank since she was like 6 years old. But at that time, if you want your allowance, you had to learn how to go to the bank. You had to learn how to write your things to-do list. It was all of these things initially. When she went to that interview, you're going to wear a blue navy suit. You wear a pinstripe under-button suit. You wear your flats. You have your portfolio. You have your resume. Even if they got a copy, hand it to the lady. Have your questions ready. Like we went through each one and each kid, but it was because I took the old school approach to say, even if it do change, I don't care how they want you to come. This is how you're going to come and present yourself. So even going back to what you said, Melissa, it starts from what Big Mama says, what Big Papa is saying. What are you doing at home or your circle, your village of what people are teaching you from the beginning?
And I say, do your research. Depending on what job you're applying for, where you're going, what the company is, do the research of what that looks like or what their expectations
That's
are, because maybe you can just go to that interview wearing your jeans or whatever. So just do the research. But if you get a flyer for a party you want to go to and they say it's all black party, it's all white, but you're going to dress accordingly for that. You know what I'm saying? So dress accordingly to get your money.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it. So that's the thing, right? So a lot of, I think, just to put a period on it or exclamation point, this is a generational thing, right? And times is changing, right? And so what we have to do is start to think about, are we going to concede with the change of time, the times, or are we going to run in place per se? Not necessarily that's a bad thing, right? But are we going to continue to stand strong, stand in our own business with the perception of what we know is professional, or the idea of professional, right? Because what's happening is there is this pedagogy that is changing. Professionalism in terms of look does not translate the same to people who may work at Twitter, who may work in a media company or a marketing company, versus someone who will work in quote unquote corporate America, right? And so I think it's about us understanding that there's a time and place. There's an understanding of the people that you're around, the environment that you in, and dressing a part of that. And so if you know where you go, right, do your research. Exactly. That's the point that I'm getting to. That's the point that I'm going to.
Know your audience.
Know your audience.
So does language or articulation have a part of that?
Well, that's we only talk about nonverbal at this point, right? Because the perception is you are qualified for whatever job, however you speak, right? Diction or whatever, right? But the nonverbal is how you look. So a showing up with or at whatever potential job, career opportunity that you have, the first thing that they see is appearance, right? And so how you show up there is kind of like the position that we're at. But the conversation piece of how you speak, that's another conversation that we could potentially go through, have a discussion about, because just because someone did not, how can I say this, execute the Queen's speech doesn't necessarily mean that they don't know how to execute the particular job that they're going into.
But I think what you said, like as far as changing with the times, I think you have to.
Yeah,
I think you have to.
Absolutely, I agree.
And we've seen it just in. Remember, Allen Iverson would get fined.
Yeah,
when he wasn't playing, and when he wasn't playing and he had to be on the bench, they wanted him in the bench on a suit. He didn't want to wear a suit. So he would get fined every time he was hurt or wasn't playing it, and he wouldn't be in that suit. But now they don't, and now they don't have to.
I think because he was the trailblazer for that.
Yeah. But they fined him a lot for doing it. But now that's not a rule anymore.
Yeah. Look, this is a good question. Let me bring it in here. It says there's definitely a shift. My question is, for anyone who would like to attack this, my question is, can everyone get away with dressing however they feel in the workplace, etc., as long as it applies to everyone? Somehow I feel that's not the case. Anyone want to take that?
Well, I listened to what you said, and you said as long as it applies to everyone. Now let's talk public and private, right? If we're working for a public entity, that applies as long as it applies to everyone, right? Because then you have grounds for discrimination suits, right? But if it's a private entity, you know what it is. This is an at-will work state. Right. So if I come to work and I don't like you, and this is my company, you're fired. Don't ask me why. This is an at-will work state. And go and sue me. No one cares. This is my private company. What are you going to do legally? Absolutely nothing. And that's just the way it is. So it just depends on who your employer is. If you're smart, you will work for yourself.
There you go.
Right. And a lot of companies now have done the employee handbook. So they're telling you from the beginning, like, oh, no ripped jeans or no.
What their expectations are.
With the t-shirts. So they're now, I guess, because of that, they're having it where they're setting rules up so people can exclusive.
So that's go ahead. So,
I was just gonna say there's this movement, and I've encountered it where people want to come to work and be their authentic self, right? So it's like, your authentic self doesn't necessarily fit this particular place, right? You can be your authentic self over there. You can be your authentic self on Saturday, maybe on a Friday. You can be your authentic self, but not every day. Like, so it's one of those things where it doesn't necessarily apply. And it's like, you have a lot of people where in their mind, they feel entitled. They feel like it's their right to be able to come to work, look in any type of way, as long as they're being their authentic self, like that the employer must adjust and bend to them.
Yeah.
And that's not the case.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Listen, you got hired for your skill. You didn't get hired for what you're wearing. Right. And so if I'm telling you, this is the blueprint that you have to work within, you're not going to come and put your feet on my table. If you want this job, this is how you have to show up. It's just as simple as that. You might not like it. You might not want to wear a suit every day. Well, in order to be in this particular environment, I will allow you into the house. You're just not going to put your feet on my table. So you don't make the rules in my house, right? And so that's pretty much the bottom line. And so we have, it looks like,
Buy your own house.
Yeah, buy your own house, get your own house. But that goes to the point of what Melissa said. Then you need to be a entrepreneur, own your own business. Then, if you have a problem with my rules, then you need to open your own stuff and make your own rules.
Life in
And the
general.
crazy thing is, you'll become an entrepreneur.
And they won't let them show up for work.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly.